Although each project is unique, our design process remains the same for each project. And for those of you familiar with the architectural process, a similar breakdown of stages are followed for the landscape and design. So these two specialisms align really well together. Key deliverables are achieved for each stage, and these are a summary of what these are. So we always commence each project with an in-depth briefing consultation, and this allows us to understand your preferences, your lifestyle, and also the unique characteristics of the site. And this stage is crucial, as a well-crafted brief is essential for the success of your project, as this allows us to create a bespoke design that perfectly matches your vision. And then from there, each subsequent stage will then allow us to work up the design in more detail and firm up specifications. And then by the time we get to stage 5, we can also assist with the management, project management, and oversee the installation on site, and ensure the design's executed to the approved design and specifications. The concept design is where the initial ideas are explored and developed. It focuses on the creative and innovative aspects, often setting the tone and the design direction for the entire project. And this is the stage that we would consider the most beneficial to think about alongside the early self-build architectural process. Here, focus is on the general spatial arrangement and the zoning of the landscape, and how we integrate the client's wish list from the brief, as well as the overall kind of look and feel of the space, as this can also inform the architectural arrangement of the building. Consideration will be given to the plot setting, as this will help establish the materials to be used within the landscape, whether that's an urban setting, rural, or even a coastal environment. We will also review the sun path, so we can understand how the sun moves around the building, where you receive morning sun and evening sun, and also inform the best locations for locating your seating and recreational areas within the garden. We also look at the topography of the site. Is it sloping? Will the house be located at the top overlooking the site, or positioned at the bottom? How then do you move through the site and connect the spaces? We also look at the architectural style and what planting style would complement this. Would we be looking for a naturalistic or minimal contemporary approach, or would a more formal approach be better suited to the architectural style? We also consider the approach to the home, and considerations given to how we create that kind of sense of arrival and this wow factor on the approach to the building. Do we need to integrate steps or ramps or pathways, and just how do they look and fit within the site? Also, we would think about the transition from the home out into the garden. Do you want to step out directly from your open plan, living space onto a paved patio, or could we introduce pockets of planting, or potentially large planters, which could be introduced to soften the landscape and bring greenery up towards the house? We would also consider key views around the site, and also from within the home, and look for ways to accentuate them. We can portray a sense of connection to nature by minimizing the visual barriers and the physical barriers between the interior and exterior. The arrangement of the windows and doors leading out to the garden can dramatically impact this. So we consider that early on in the project as well, in the process as well. And by maximising the use of glazing, it'll allow views of the sky and the landscape to be drawn into the building. We also consider borrowing views from the surrounding areas, such as rolling hills or the countryside or coastal views, and this helps to visually connect the site out into the broader landscape. We also consider the nightscape. What does that look like? A general lighting strategy, it's good to consider at this conceptual stage as well. And with lighting, often less is more. being selective with what to illuminate and playing with light and shadow will bring the landscape to life at night and also achieve a more dramatic result. Functional lighting is used to illuminate pathways and guide routes through the garden. And there are many ways to introduce these. You can use concealed lighting details or bollard and wall light fittings to create different effects. We also use external lighting to create the ambience within the space and focus these around areas that you may be sitting within or dining in the evening. We also consider whether there are any features within the landscape that we could illuminate and create focal points within the garden, such as maybe statement trees or sculptures or interesting cladding details, just again to add depth into the space. Following the concept design and the client's review of that proposal, the design is then developed further and site specifics are addressed. And it's at this stage that the layout and the deliverables are agreed and are pretty much there as we begin to lock down on the options, and so we can then provide sufficient information to obtain initial budget costs for the design. And also here we would seek planning approval if this is required for the proposal. The detailed design stage follows on from the design development, and here we work up the final design ready to so we can firm up costs and also so we can provide information for the construction on site. The key aspects of the detailed design include producing, setting out and construction information, providing any fabrication details for bespoke elements, whether that's bespoke bench seating, a water feature, outdoor kitchens, pergola structures. We will also finalise the specifications and firm up costs with a preferred contractor. The implementation stage is where it all comes together, and we can oversee the installation and liaise with contractors throughout the works, procure planting and furniture and fittings if this is required, carry out plant placement, and provide guidance on how to maintain the new soft landscape that's just been installed.